What is up, guys? Wraec is here with a new video, and as promised yesterday I tested Satrana. Well, Satrana is the second hero that is going to get an upgrade to her enhanced force in the upcoming 1.33 update, I think it is. And this upgrade is kind of interesting because states it increases her ignite damage by 100%. 100% damage increases, that is something that I like. The effect that previously required igniting 5 heroes now triggers after igniting 4 heroes, which is removing the Vixen's Rush cooldown, which is her second ability. So I tried to make some teams with her, and we can take a little bit of a look at what I came up with. Let's just start off by looking at the gameplay. So first of all, I really wanted to make her work with Soulbound spell. The idea was to have her as a backmost hero, and the backmost hero gains energy from the frontmost hero, and I wanted her to kind of have enough energy to ult all the time, because during her ult she has this special effect that she's actually invincible. So I thought, okay, you put left like this invincible hero, she will run to the front, be invincible there, and kind of ult all the time, which would be great. That was like the initial idea that I had, and where I wanted to use Soulbound spell. The reality is a little bit tough. On Pioneer server, we have the problem that we have Dunlinger in the enemy team. So even though my Satrana in this situation had like full energy and would be able to ult, Dunlinger of course blocked her, which then ends up with us losing. The good thing is, in this situation we used Mirael and Bonnie, both very potent damage over time heroes, which ended up giving us the win anyway, despite Satrana losing. But of course it isn't really a Satrana team if Satrana doesn't do anything for us, or doesn't help us win in any way. So yeah, kind of didn't really work out. And then I thought, okay, backmost doesn't really work. We kind of have to give her a little bit more survivability, which is why I came up with another team. And this second version was used here. I decided to put Ice Guard spell on the team first. On some maps it would be nice to put it on Satrana herself. On other maps it is very good to protect twins and then gain the extra advantage of debuffing the enemy. In this map the good thing is, and we can see that in the replay, that the enemies are fairly close to us, so she doesn't run outside of the range of Callan, which gives her this immediate nice survivability at the start. And within the reach of Callan, this is alright. You can't really get that on every single map. And you can see back-to-back Dunlinger ults here, which also means we really don't get too old as long as the enemy has Dunlinger, and has Dunlinger as at a Paragon level that we have too. Well, kind of doesn't get to use her ult at all, or very rarely, not enough certainly, to kind of get us into an ult chain where we would be able to get a lot of damage off and actually make use of her. So in the end what I noticed was I kind of just make a team for Bonnie. That is just a Bonnie team really. The only advantage that Satrana really provides for us is, well, she is a magic damage hero. She's a mage that really doesn't feel like a mage. She can take a decent amount of damage, especially when we have Ice Guard spell, and has a little bit of lifesteal. Here we have it in the Vixen's Rush ability as actually 1-out life drain. So she's able to sustain very well at the front of the line and provide some magic damage there, which of course has a nice synergy with the Blade Surge that we have on Bonnie, and with the aging that we get from the Decay's Reach, which is her main damage over time effect. But really, none of the teams yet have really brought us to the point where we really use the hero. And the question now is, of course, which part of the hero do we really want to use? And if we take a look at her skills for a second, we can see, well, first of all, the invincible part in her ult, that would be great. She also has a unique CC effect, which is the last stroke of the skill charms enemies. That makes them only use normal skills, normal attacks. For many heroes that can still be strong, but not being able to use abilities or like the ultimate skill, well, that is certainly rather annoying. You have it for 2 seconds, which is not super long, but I thought, well, if we get enough ult energy, that would really be nice. But everybody is using Dunlinger here, so kind of annoying. On the main server it would be a little bit easier. We saw so much Dunlinger that there probably wasn't even the video of her ult animation in this video yet. So let's take a look at that. You probably didn't even see that yet. That is crazy. So The other thing that you really want to use is this one. This one is a great ability, Night Passions. Grants sparks to allies within 2 tiles when a battle starts, works for summons as well. I tried it with Hugin, and Hugin has like those 2 pirates that he summons with his Mythic Plus ability. Those also get sparks. When Satrana or allies with spark deal damage to an enemy for 3 times, the target is burned, and then they start taking damage, equal to 0.8% of max HP every 1 second, and vitality is reduced by 20, which should be cool, should mean that they aren't able to be healed that much. I actually lost a fight, and we can take a look at that, due to not being able to kill a Dunlinger. And here we are in the situation that should be it. I hope I'm in the right gameplay. We can see there is still the spear active from an enemy Athalia. We have a Dunlinger over here. That Dunlinger is in reach of my Satrana. My Satrana is hitting him. We have Kalin here as well. We hit him all the time, and still the enemy Ludovic is able to just heal him up back to full again. So really, despite us being able to reduce his vitality, that is not enough to keep him from being healed by Ludovic, which kind of, in my opinion, also means that it's not effective enough. Because if I were to go ahead and use Dunlinger with Cure Lock here, that Dunlinger would have been gone already. There would have been no question about it. But in this situation, well, we kind of have a real stalemate. That is really, really interesting, because it doesn't happen too often anymore, especially with an Athalia spear hammering on us, which does a surprising amount of damage for being basically a dead enemy, just having huge true damage. By the way, does even more true damage now. They, for some reason, decided to buff exactly this part of Athalia, which I thought was the most annoying one. It is a strong one, but it is also rather annoying to have a dead enemy deal a ton of damage. They decided to buff that. The buff is not on Pioneer, I can't really show it to you, but we are going to check it out on Global. Just want to tell you about this. But yeah, you can see really the vitality reduction doesn't really help us enough to actually get rid of this Dunlinger. Final damage numbers, if somebody's wondering, we did a ton of damage, of course, but we also had like an entire minute more than probably the Siren, so it is not really representative of what we were doing there. Is part of her abilities, doesn't really work. Damage over time, I thought then, okay, damage over time, we have the burn, is kind of cool. The skill damage cannot exceed 45% of Satrana's attack. And that was like, okay, let's say we hit that, which is like, that is a cap. So we can hit lower, but we can't hit higher, which means the best we can do is 45% of Satrana's attack, with skill damage would be 65%. Then I checked this out and I thought, okay, let's compare it to a hero that also does damage over time. And I looked at Bonnie. And Bonnie's damage over time, first of all, we have the 150% damage. And then we have 100% of attack damage every 1 second. So that is like what we do. That's 100% damage every second. So we have more than double the damage before even something like Soul Power. We also have debuffs in this, which is like the 30% reduction attack, making it easier to survive. And then I was like, so it is not the same as with Salazar or Khafra, where I get a uniquely good hero, where I have a huge burst here with Khafra or a super tanky hero with Salazar. I kind of just get a mediocre damage over time hero here with Satrana. And I don't think it's really worth it. I have to say that. I don't think it's really worth it. The magic damage reduction is nice. If you can make that work with Bonnie, it is nice. But at the moment, it's just so tough to slot her into a team. And you kind of want to get other faction skills. You want to do Gravebond, you want to do Wale, you want to maybe do Celestial Hypogean. You really don't want to do Mauler, so you give up one of those precious 2 slots outside of the faction that you want the faction skill of to slot in Satrana. I don't really think she can really provide for that. The only good thing is we have like the Bonnie Satrana combo. That is something you should have in the back of your mind. Okay, there is a way to reduce the vitality on enemies and at the same time provide some nice damage. That is something we can do. I kind of just want to show you this gameplay, and then we have one more. This is probably one of the better fights that we had with her, using really the same way with Cullen to make her survive at the start of the fight. Ice Guard spell on there to get a little bit of attack reduction. Try to heal her up here a little bit. Is rather tough, but we get some pretty good kills at the start, so I really like this. And so that kind of works out for us. We still start losing heroes to the Bloody Athalia lens, which is way stronger now, as I already said. And yeah, so kind of still a very interesting gameplay when you have like the aging on the Dunlinger. It kind of works out. So this was probably the best gameplay, the best hit that I had with her. And here we come to the most horrible one. But I know some of you guys are going to love this one actually in particular, because I know you guys love Skalita gameplays, and this is probably the most beautiful Skalita ult that I have ever seen. And so I didn't want to keep that away from you, even if we have a hero here that I can't really make work. You get to see something nice, and in this case it is the best Skalita ult ever. It is the best Skalita ult ever. So hope you enjoyed this. Let's see the Skalita ult. Come on, hit me. Destroy me, smite me. Bam, this is my entire team gone. There's 5 kills with 1 ult. So I thought this was pretty cool. I thought this was at least something that I could show you in this video, even if Satrana is, in my opinion, not worth upgrading at the moment. Go for Salazar, get yourself a Mirael, maybe get yourself a Soren. At the moment, Satrana, I just don't see her. And yeah, so hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't already, down the description is a link to lootbar.gg where you can get very cheap dragon crystals. And right now, I actually got a cooperation with those guys, and what we offer at the moment is for everybody that registers through my link, you get an additional coupon. Those coupons you can use at the checkout. You get a little bit of a discount. You will get an 8% coupon and a 3% coupon right now for the first 200 people that register. So that is a great offer in my opinion, and we're going to do some more stuff that I will let you know about soon. So stay tuned for that, and other than that, I wish you a great day. We'll see us in the next one.